Hi students, yesterday we were discussing about human activities. I told you that every human being will perform two types of activities. The first one is economic activities, the second one is non-economic activities. Economic activities are those which are performed to earn money. With an intention of earning money, whatever we perform are called as economic activities, like working as a lecturer, being a doctor, or a driver, by establishing a business or by establishing a restaurant. Whenever you do something in order to earn money, it becomes a economic activity. And the activities what we perform in order to satisfy our own needs without any intention of earning money are called as non-economic activities. Like we, according to our religious interest, we perform so many activities like visiting a temple, going to a mosque or to a church, we offer prayers. Here we don't earn anything. So that is the reason this offering prayers is called as or will become a non-economic activity. Yesterday I have given various examples, like your mom preparing food at home is a non-economic activity because we are not paying anything. But the same food preparation is done by a master or a chef at a restaurant, he is paid for that. So it becomes economic activity for that chef. Similarly, you take ironing of clothes or pressing of clothes. So when you do it at your home, okay, for your dress, you are not paid anything. So it becomes a non-economic activity. But if the same thing is done by a dhobi at a nearby shop, he will charge around 15 rupees to iron your clothes. So that becomes an economic activity. So sometimes a same act done by different persons at different places will change their name, okay, will take some different definition. Sometimes it becomes an economic activity and sometimes the same activity becomes a non-economic activity according to the performing person and performance of place. Okay, be clear. We cannot say anything like it is always economic and it is always non-economic. Yesterday I have given an example. If I am teaching in Sri Medhavi, this is an economic activity for me because I am paid for this. If I am helping my kids at home to complete their homework, it becomes a non-economic activity. Both places it is teaching. So teaching for commercial purpose, teaching to earn money becomes economic activity, and teaching at home to help the students or to help the family members becomes a non-economic activity. So from these examples, I hope it is clear for all of you that an activity performed with an intention of earning money is called as economic activity. An activity which is performed to satisfy our own needs without any intention of earning money is called as non-economic activity. Now, as yesterday I told, in order to understand commerce meaning, first we had to understand the meaning of human activities. Now we are clear about economic and non-economic activities. Now yesterday I told you that we are not here to discuss about non-economic activities, okay, that are done for self-satisfaction. Here in commerce, we are going to learn about various types of economic activities. What are the various types of economic activities can be performed by a human being? As an individual, you want to earn money. What you can do? If it is an offline class, most of you might have given different examples. Someone wants to become a lawyer, someone wants to become a business woman, okay, someone wants to be a manager, someone wants to establish their own factory, somebody may establish a textile showroom, somebody may establish a hospital, somebody may establish a school. Like that, you people will be giving different examples, okay, what everyone want to do in order to earn money. So people have got different options to earn money, okay, in a legal manner. Remember this point. Not by stealing, okay, or not by damaging others, not in an illegal manner like gambling, etc., not like that, but in a legal manner. In order to earn money, what are the options available in the society. Those are called as economic activities, categorized into three types. Economic activities are divided, categorized into three types. What you can do in order to earn money, being an individual, what you can do to earn money. The first thing you can do is business. Many times you ask different people when they are conducting some business, say what you are, or even suppose you students come to our campus and we ask you what is your father, what is your mother. Sometimes you may say that my father is a businessman. What does a businessman do? What exactly is business? Business is very simple. It is defined as state of being busy in order to earn profits. When you perform some economic activity in order to earn money, it is called as business. For example, I buy this marker from some distributor at 50 rupees and I sell the same marker to another person for 60 rupees. So, here you try to understand, I am purchasing this marker for 50 rupees. I am selling this to someone, some customer at 60 rupees. Here what amount I am earning extra? 10 rupees. That is my profit. Whatever you do, not only just markers, various stationery items, a shirt. Suppose if I buy this shirt from someone else for 500 rupees and sell it at 700 rupees, 200 rupees is my profit. So, always we will be busy in buying and selling, or we may manufacture things, or we may distribute things. Business is so vast. There are no certain limited activities under business. We can do numerous activities under business. So, we discuss about business, what exactly business is, what are its characteristics, what are the functions of a businessman, what are the responsibilities of a businessman, that all we discuss later after completion of this second and third part. The second economic activity an individual can perform is profession. Here, just now I have given you the definition of business. Business can be defined as state of being busy in order to earn profits. Whatever you do. In a sweet shop, you see some sweets are prepared and sold to customers. There you earn profits. You establish a school, collect fees from students and pay it to some salaries to teachers and lecturers, and the remaining amount you will save. That is your profit. Establish a hospital, collect fees from the patients, pay out of that, pay something towards the rent and some towards the doctors, and remaining amount is left with you. That is your profit. So, whatever you do, either you establish a hospital or a school or a college, or you establish a hotel, or you manufacture furniture, or you manufacture textiles, you manufacture markers, or from someone else you buy the goods and sell them at a higher price. In your 6th class, 7th class, you might have learnt so many problems in your commercial mathematics. Cost price and selling price. Cost price means the price at which we have purchased. Say 10 rupees we have purchased a pen, and the same pen is sold for 15 rupees. What is the profit here? 5 rupees is your profit. Unfortunately, if it is the reverse case, you purchased for 15 rupees and you are forced to sell at 10 rupees, you will incur loss. So, like that, business is an economic activity in which people manufacture the goods, or they sell the goods to other people, or they engage in providing some service like education, hospitals and insurance or banks, etc. So, business is so vast, it is like an ocean. Numerous activities can be performed. That is the reason about business we discuss at a later stage after understanding about profession and employment. What is a profession? It is normal class. Most of you might have given the answer like agriculture, potter, goldsmith, blacksmith, tailor, teacher. All these people will become under profession in a common parlance, in a common scenario. In society, these people are called as professionals. That means the people who have got some individual creativity. A farmer, a teacher, a barber, a potter, a goldsmith, a blacksmith, because these people make some goods or something, creativity on their own, and they are able to deliver some knowledge to others. So you people call these persons as professionals. But as per commerce, all these activities what I have told you just now, a teacher, a farmer, a goldsmith, a potter, a barber does not become professionals. They are not called as professionals. Income Tax Authority of India does not recognize these people as professionals. In India, there are only 3 professionals. Okay, professionals are only doctors, chartered accountants, lawyers. So as on today, Government of India, Income Tax Authority recognizes only 3 people as the professionals: doctors, chartered accountants and lawyers. Okay, they are called as professionals. Why only they are called as professionals? Why? I am having MCom, MBA. I am a lecturer for the past 20 years. I have got the ability to teach various subjects. My success rate is so high. Still I am not called as a professional. Even the college principal is not a professional as per IT Authority of India. Who is a professional? Only doctors, chartered accountants and lawyers are called as professionals in India. Why? I have given the clear definition over here. Being expert, I hope you know the meaning of expert. Expert means a person who has 100% knowledge in a particular field is called as expert. Okay, perfect admi. So a person who has got expert knowledge, perfect knowledge in a particular field. So being expert in a particular field by completing a professional course. What are the professional courses in India? MBBS, Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Science. MBBS stands for Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Science. Then Chartered Accountancy, LLB, Bachelor of Law. Okay. Why only these 3 are called as professional personalities in India? The reason is, here, in order to be a professional, one has to complete a particular course. Say for example, if you want to become a doctor, you have to complete the course called MBBS. Now what happens? You will not become a professional after completion of MBBS. Always, to award you a professional certificate, in India we have got apex bodies, that means higher authorities. So this MBBS certificate or to certify you as a doctor in India, we have got a higher authority called as Medical Council of India, MCI. Okay. Medical Council of India. This is called as apex body. Apex body means a higher authority which decides whether you are a capable doctor or not. How do they decide? After completion of your MBBS course, they will conduct a examination. So you have to clear that. You have to clear the examination conducted by this apex body, then you are recognized as doctor. That is the reason you can observe, if you go to any doctor and see their prescription, there you will find registered number. Registered number, some number will be there. Dr. Ataullah something, okay, Sir Dr. Ahmad. Below that you will have the registered number on the top of the prescription at the right side. So every doctor will have a registered number. The people, or say the person who does not have this registered number is not allowed to practice in India. He becomes an illegal doctor. Who gives this registered number? This registered number is given by the Medical Council of India. When do they give? After completion of your course, if you write down the examination conducted by this Medical Council of India and you pass that examination, then this MCI recognizes you as a doctor. Then you are given this registered number. Then you can practice. You can establish a board or something else, some hospital, so and so Dr. Ahmed, okay, XYZ registered number, some board you can display, and patients will be coming to and you can start giving the treatment. If you are not given the registered number by this Medical Council of India, then you are not a qualified doctor. So this examination, this course will be very tough one. Okay. So here, who is eligible to do this MBBS? The people who take BPC in intermediate, and they have to write down the examination conducted by the Government of India called NEET, and once they get the rank, and they can go through the course MBBS and they can become the doctor. MECs and CEC students do not have the option to become the doctors, so leave it. Then CA. This is what should be our aim. All MEC and CEC students are eligible to become chartered accountants. Chartered accountants, CA. Okay. Most of you may be knowing this, what a CA is, why chartered accountants are so important, why they are paid a very high salary, why they are given lot of respect in society. And when you meet some persons who have completed their CA course, they proudly say that I am a CA candidate, I am CA, or say my relative is CA, as he has completed CA. Very proudly they announce. It gives them lot of respect. They deserve that. Why? Because chartered accountants, or say the chartered accountancy course, is a very tough one, but not impossible one, which can be done by both MECs and CEC students. MEC students and CEC students both are eligible to do CA. What is chartered accountancy? To become chartered accountant, you have to complete the course called chartered accountancy. CA का full form होता chartered accountancy course complete करना. So how do you complete this course? Who will monitor this? Who will give you the certificate? Like here for the doctor, Medical Council of India was giving you the certificate. For chartered accountant, who will give the certificate? ICAI. There is a apex body, like for doctors we have got MCI, for chartered accountants we have got a apex body, a higher authority called ICAI. What is ICAI? Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So this ICAI will conduct examination after your course. Then again, like doctor, you are also given a registered number and you enjoy lot of respect in the society and you can earn lot of money. This can be done after completion of your intermediate, a 6-year course, bit tough one, but highly demanded all over the world. Okay, chartered accountants are recognized, their knowledge is recognized and respected by various business organizations and individuals all over the world. For example, in a common terminology, maybe your parents or maybe your neighbors will be talking about tax. We have to pay this much of tax this year, income tax is to be paid, professional tax is to be paid, or say the property tax is to be paid, PAN number, permanent account number, all these things you will be discussing, all these things you will be somewhere hearing that I have to pay tax, sales tax, GST, you are, okay, every time whenever you go to shop, there is some GST number, the shopkeeper is collecting GST. So, who will calculate all these things is the chartered accountants. When you establish a business organization and you are selling the goods or you are manufacturing the goods, then distributing to others, earning profits, at the end of the year, you have to pay tax to the government authorities. So, how much amount of tax you are going to pay to the government is calculated by these chartered accountants. That is the reason they are highly demanded, they are highly paid, they enjoy the high respect in the society. So, after your intermediate, it is a 6 to 7 years course. Okay. If you put sincere efforts from day one of your intermediate, easily you can become. It is not impossible. Many students are there who have cleared their chartered accountancy in first attempt. Sometimes the students may take 2 to 3 attempts, but they have cleared it now. So, when you come to college campus, personal interaction, I can give lot of additional information regarding this CA course. So, the second profession, first profession was doctor, that is MBBS. Second profession is chartered accountant, a CA, and the CA certificate is provided, is given by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI. Then you will get a registered number. So, then you can go for practice. The third profession in India recognized by tax authorities of India is the lawyer. Okay. So, for this lawyer course, the exam is conducted by BCI. BCI stands for Bar Council of India. Bar Council of India will conduct an examination after completion of your LLB course, and again you are given a registered number. Remember this. For every professional, a registered number is given by the apex body or the higher authority. For doctors, you have got MCI. For chartered accountants, you have got ICAI. For lawyers, you have got BCI, Bar Council of India. Okay. In order to understand commerce very well and to know about the business organization and to know about these professionals and to become acquainted with all these terms, I advise you to go through the newspapers every day. Okay. For a commerce student, reading of newspaper is very, very important. Every day you have to study. So, what is going on, what type of various economic activities are going on in the society and how they are working and in what way they are earning money. Now, conclusion today is economic activities are 3 categories: business, profession, employment. Profession is that being expert in a particular field by completing a professional course. The professional courses are doctors, chartered accountants and lawyers. Then in our next class we discuss about employment.